So, I must come clean about Smite 2, and I recently posted a negative review on Steam saying that the game, as is, I cannot recommend it because, well, first, I think this is a valid one. If you're a Smite 1 player, you're especially gonna hate Smite 2, most likely, because, well, first, the systemic changes to the game where the game now has less identity, less class identity, and more sense of I can do whatever the hell I want, kind of thing. If you like this archetype of I am a mage and I'm gonna behave as like a mage, you're not gonna find that in this game. I mean, you're gonna find some of it, but it's not something that you should be consistently expecting it because of the hybrid system changes. And two, the obvious one I think is you probably, well, your odds are you're not gonna find one or two gods that you actually enjoy or main in Smite 1, since not all gods are here. The game isn't as rich as the vanilla Smite, also, meaning a lot less content. Like the game modes. The ARAM still doesn't have like a proper map. Yeah, so skins, a lot less gods, as I mentioned. So every match will feel very samey. It's not worse than Smite 1, however, it's just lacking. So the Unreal Engine 5 upgrade from Unreal Engine 3 is a huge change. That is insane if you think about it. But I don't think Hi-Rez is actually fully utilizing the powers and the capabilities of Unreal Engine 5. So let's just put this into perspective. Smite 2 is built on the same engine as Marvel Rivals, the game with team-up abilities, the game with Doctor Strange portals, the game with insane combo attacks like Hulk throwing Wolverine, that sort of thing. It is the same engine as Smite 2, where half of the abilities look slightly janky. I mean, the game is less janky than Smite 1. That is for certain. Like that, probably like 10, 20, maybe even 30% less janky. But it is still a game that doesn't really fully use the powers of Unreal Engine 5. I don't know if it is a dev issue or it is something maybe competence issue. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, but they are certainly not using the power of Unreal Engine 5 to its fullest. Probably they are understaffed. Like they recently fired a lot of people, so yeah, it makes sense. I think Hi-Rez should look into hiring more devs, more modern day devs that are like really well-rounded at using Unreal Engine 5, because this is not a sequel. I wouldn't call Smite 2 a sequel yet. It doesn't really deserve the number 2 label. The system changes are probably like the biggest thing that changed the game, but they are still a drop in the bucket, it is not a sequel. This is more likely, I would, if I had to put it in MMO terms, this is like maybe an expansion, like a new expansion. It's not a sequel, but it's slightly expanding on. Even I wouldn't even call it an expansion. Honestly, I think it's a seasonal change. The hybrid is, they just like really reworked items. That's what happens. This is what League does like once a year. Like they do like an overhaul to some aspect to their game. Like what you get 1 year while they revamp the map, another year while they revamp the jungle buffs, another year they will revamp the classes in the game, or rework assassins, or maybe add something to the game that shakes it up. Like maybe as of recently, like they added Atakan, you know. Remember the elemental dragons? They were a new thing at some point, you know. Smite 2, that's what it just feels like. It feels like some kind of big update. It's not a new game. Visually, it has like the same Smite art style, even though I'm not a huge fan of the Smite art style. It just looks somewhere in between cartoony and realistic, and it looks weird. But I'm here just like for the mythology. I'm sure everyone loves playing as a specific mythological god, but I don't think the art style is what sells Smite as like a wow, this game is like has a unique look or something. It's not Borderlands, it's not Marvel Rivals, it's not League of Legends, it's not World of Warcraft. Each of these games have their own unique style that has like these vibrant colors. It's not Elden Ring. Even Elden Ring has, even though it's like a darker tone, it has its own unique art style. Souls games, generally speaking, have like the same unique dark tone. Like if you take a screenshot from a Souls game, you instantly recognize, oh, it's a From Software game. So yeah, right now I don't think Smite 2 is a leap. It doesn't deserve the number 2 label, and I think it's currently deserving the mixed reviews that it has on Steam page. Honestly, I am disappointed in this game. I really hope they backpedal on the hybrid changes, because I'm gonna talk about the hybrid stuff, like the new systemic changes to itemizations. So I'm gonna lay down some pros and cons, and you guys tell me what do you think, okay? So the pros of hybrid approach: it encourages flexible builds. Players aren't really boxed into strict roles. You can build creatively based on the flow of the game, matchups, or team comps. Meaning you can now try do like a hybrid Danzaburo build. You know, now you have like a mixed scaling. It also is like really good for junglers and solo laners, because benefiting from hybrid items can now have you access to certain items that you weren't able to get, and will help you either lane better. Maybe like as a Guan Yu, now you can use some magic, so use intelligence to boost your healing, because you're laning against someone who is ranged and will poke you to death, you know? Now with hybrid scaling, you can buy magic items to sustain yourself, you know? Also, what else? Oh, it's less punishing itemization too. Like, you're rarely like wasting stats. For example, if you buy an item and it has like a certain scaling, it doesn't feel bad just because you bought like an item that has like some magic damage and some physical damage. Like you're probably like buying this item just because of the passive and the physical damage stats, but this item also like maybe has like 20 intelligence. Okay, you're playing a bruiser that has like some kind of scaling on one of their abilities, so it just feels like less, you know, punishing. It feels less bad. Okay, so those are the pros. I think hybrids should exist in the game, but it should not be as prominent as like they are right now. Like everyone can build hybrids. It's absurd. Okay, and now let's get into the cons. And this is where what I think are terrible. So, first of all, diluted identity. I think the classes right now feel less distinct. Mages can be tankier. Tanks can feel more like they do too much damage. I also think some assassins will now behave like mages. Marksmen or carries can behave like mages. Nothing makes sense anymore. You look at a guy with a wand or a staff, you would expect that guy or that girl to deal magic damage, but no, lo and behold, they actually have insane attack speed and they will hit you for I don't know 20,000 damage of physical damage. It's insane. Like, you look at Zeus now, he's not necessarily like a magic damage user now. He can be a hybrid. He can do a lot of auto attack damage. So does Poseidon. Poseidon like has these this aspect that he can turn on, and now he can auto attack you to death. It's insane. It's insane. Nothing makes sense anymore. In League, when you look at a mage, when you look at a guy like Azir, or a woman like Lysandra, you instantly think, oh, this is a mage. Your eye already knows what kind of damage output this character does, right? But when you come to Smite, you don't necessarily like you see that, you know, these characters are supposed to deal magic damage, but lo and behold, no, it's not. It's not really it, you know. Also, toxic build paths. Now it's really like the meta right now. It's like super strange. You can build a bruiser hybrid build and you deal a lot of damage, and you have insane sustain, and you're also tanky. Like it's absurd. Like things that Guan Yu can do now, like they are disgusting. It's disgusting. And my third point is also kind of related to this. It's a balance headache. I cannot imagine what the game will look like for a year from now. Like, it's gonna be a balancing nightmare. The devs will have to juggle so many freaking stats on every damn god. It's insane. So what will either happen? In my opinion, or my prediction, I think the game will either have gods that are completely broken. Those are gonna duke it out every single game, while the rest of the gods, like the 80% other gods, are gonna be total doo-doo. Or the devs are slowly gonna shift the this hybrid itemization into, okay, this is maybe something like we're gonna keep the hybrid scaling, but maybe we'll make it like as a fun thing, not really a meta thing, you know. So they're gonna turn down the scaling on many items and builds and gods, and encourage less of the hybrid builds and make them more niche. On only few characters are meant to play hybrid. And of course, in every MOBA, especially like I remember in League when it was like the Akali meta, like Akali used to be a really hybrid character. The Kale meta, the Jax meta, like every single, or the Kaisa meta, like every single hybrid character in League was at some point an unkillable demon. These characters are broken. Like whenever they were had access to really good items, they solo carry this game. Like hybrid characters, like Because here's the thing. I'll explain it to you why. When you're a hybrid character, it means you have access to both types of stats. Magic damage and physical damage. So, what usually happens in a 5v5 game, when you see an ADC that is fed and a mage that is not fed, you're probably gonna, as a tank or even as a DPS player, you're gonna itemize more into physical defense, you know, to kind of deal with the fed character. But you can't do that when it's a hybrid. It does the same amount of damage, usually like 60-40, like maybe like 60% physical and 40% magic, you know, or vice versa. You cannot itemize both physical and magical at the same time. Not to mention, the penetration is way too strong because they made penetration in this game a global stat, meaning if you buy penetration, it applies to both magic and physical damage at the same time, which is so absurd. It's so stupid. You don't have magic penetration or armor penetration. You have penetration. It applies to both stats. So, just buying one penetration item makes you super strong. It's absurd. I don't know what the devs are thinking, honestly. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Anyway, I'm sorry for this rant. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I should call it off now. But I honestly love Smite 2, and I think it's a really, really good game. And like, as a concept, not actually. Right now, I think the game is probably at its worst state. It is getting better, but I don't think I can. I don't know. Like, I honestly, on good conscience, cannot recommend you to, I don't know, like, stop playing League and start playing Smite 2. No, I can recommend you playing Smite 1. Smite 1 is still super fun game. Unfortunately, they stopped updating the game. That's unfortunate. But yeah, honestly, I think Smite 2 right now as is in a horrible state, and it's gonna keep getting worse if they do not deal with these kind of issues. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Ring the bell to join the hive, and I'll see you next time. This was Yobi. Bye bye.